Video game file sizes are out of control. There are relevant explanations as to why this is happening. In this video, I will explain what is happening, why it is happening, and why none of this is relevant to the users. These companies have a responsibility to fix the problems of their products, not for us to deal with the problems that arise from their use. Here's a snapshot of games with the largest file sizes by console generations, according to AlienwareArena.com. I was unable to locate when this article was written, but it will be clear when we get to the top PS4 and Xbox One games that it was written quite a while ago. This article will show the video game file sizes by different generations of consoles. Let's start out with Atari 2600. The average file size is 16 kilobytes. The game with the largest file size on the Atari 2600 is Fatal Run at 32 kilobytes. The NES average file size is 100 kilobytes to 400 kilobytes. The largest file size goes to Kirby Adventure at 800 kilobytes. Super Nintendo Entertainment System, the average file size is 1 megabyte to 2 megabytes. The game with the largest file size is Tales of Phantasia from 6 megabytes. In the video, you guys will also see me skipping through a few of these. I didn't want to go through all of them, so I just, picked some and skipped others. N64. The average file size is 6 megabytes to 30 megabytes. The game with the largest file size is Resident Evil 2 at 64 megabytes. PlayStation 1. The average file size is 300 megabytes to 1 gigabyte. The largest file size is Wing Commander 4 at 2.6 gigabytes. PS2, the average file size is 1 gigabyte to 2 gigabytes. The largest file size is Gran Turismo 4 at 4.1 gigabytes. Xbox, average file size 1 gigabyte to 2 gigabytes. The largest file size is Rally Sport Challenge at 6 gigabytes. PS3, the average file size is 5 gigabytes to 15 gigabytes, and the largest file size is Uncharted 3 at 42 gigabytes. Xbox 360, average file size 5 gigabytes to 10 gigabytes, and the largest file size is 22 gigabytes for Rage. Now, one thing you'll notice is a disparity here between PS3 and Xbox 360, and I feel like this is probably from Xbox at this time implementing limits on file sizes for specifically for like their Xbox Live Arcade games. There were very strict limits for those, like you couldn't be above a certain size, but I think that kept pretty much all the developers focused on not having extreme file sizes because there'd probably be some backlash from Microsoft for it. That's why I'm guessing, Rage is only 22 gigabytes and that's the largest compared to Uncharted 3 is 42 gigabytes. So that could have a lot to do with it. But, it could also have to do with PS3 was using Blu-rays at the time. Xbox 360s were using like DVDs or HD DVDs for their games. So that could also have to do with the amount of space that was available on them. PlayStation 4, the average file size is 30 gigabytes to 60 gigabytes, and the largest one at the time of this writing, which is definitely out of date, is Call of Duty Black Ops 3 at 89 gigabytes. Modern Warfare definitely went past that, guys. Definitely went past that. Well over 100 gigabytes. I think it launched at like 100 gigabytes, so that's just a easy comparison to make. Xbox One at the time this was written, you have Gears of War 4. This was 113 gigabytes, and the average file size was 30 gigabytes to 60 gigabytes. Clearly, that's also out of date. Then let's take a quick look at PS5 and Series X. Now, these are not in that article. It's not a part of that article whatsoever. I looked up this data myself. I got this from CallOfDuty.com. This, I'm assuming, is when the game's launched, not with their most recent patches, because those are just added on, a gigabyte here, a few gigabytes there, many gigabytes there. It gets added on throughout, each update. But according to CallOfDuty.com, 133 gigabytes is what Call of Duty Cold War started out with on PS5. Cold War and Xbox Series X started out at 136 gigabytes. These file sizes by now, I'm sure, are much larger than that. I know that for a fact because on PS5, I have Call of Duty Cold War installed with Warzone, and it's 230 some gigabytes. I don't remember, like 236 or something like that. Today is March 3rd, 2021. It probably is bigger by the time you guys are listening to this. So now let's take a quick look at why this is happening. Here are a few points from an Extreme Tech article written by Joel Haruska. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. In his article, he's written, quote, "Developers have discussed new compression methods and the benefit of data deduplication as a method of improving storage efficiency and reducing file sizes, but the massive size of 4K textures is going to work directly against these methods. Historically, the mammoth file sizes win. Gamers who want to keep more than 3 to 4 titles installed simultaneously are going to be buying external drives to do so. So already here we have an article explaining what's happening, why it's happening, and that basically they can't fix the problem due to the 4K. And I get that. I understand that 4K takes up a lot of space. When you upload a video to YouTube and it's in 4K, it's way larger than, something that's in 1080p or 720p. So that's true. That's definitely happening. And that's not even, rendering graphics or anything. It's just rendering regular video. So I understand what this article is saying. No, I'm not going to give you guys a million explanations as to why the file sizes are increasing, but 4K does have a lot to do with it. Just to give you guys another example of file sizes increasing, over on GameSpot on December 24th, 2020, there was a video published by Aaron Sampson highlighting the top video game installs of all time. And I'm not going to go through the whole thing. You guys can go watch the video if you want. But the big takeaways are, number 2 was Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War at 186.5 gigabytes at launch, plus 85 more for Warzone. And then Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 is the top spot. On a PS4 Pro, it takes up 250 gigabytes plus. That's huge. Huge. To put that into context, if you have a base PS4 that was 500 gigabytes, that is 50% of your hard drive. Half your hard drive is dedicated to one game. That is insane. So let's do a brief recap. At this point, we went over that A, file sizes are increasing, B, why they're increasing, and now we're going to get to the point where we start to explain why I don't care. And this goes directly into an article that was recently written by Jordan Alleman over on IGN. This article is referencing a CallOfDuty.com blog post where I'll just read you what they wrote. Their franchise publisher wrote, quote, "Those who own a standard PlayStation 4 with a default hard drive of 500 gigabytes may need to make more room if they have the full versions of Modern Warfare / Warzone and Black Ops Cold War with all modes and packs installed. Should you have both games installed and have kept up to date with the updates, you may need to delete some unused game content to have a successful download and install of the latest Warzone patch," end quote. This is absurd. Absolutely crazy. They're saying if you have 2 of our games, kiss your 500 gigabyte hard drive goodbye, which at this point is pretty much true. It's only going to get worse from here. If Cold War is taking up 230 gigabytes and Modern Warfare is taking up 250 gigabytes, that is your PS5 hard drive. Or I'm sorry, that is your PS4, standard PS4 hard drive. Now maybe you have a PS4 Pro and you got a terabyte. That's still half your hard drive. Maybe you have a PS5 and you only have Cold War installed, like I do. Right now, March 3rd, 2021, it's, I think, 236 gigabytes of my space on an 825 gigabyte hard drive, which is bananas. Bananas. So let's talk for a second about who this is going to affect and how it's going to affect them. There are people who only play Call of Duty games. I know those people. They exist. That's why they buy consoles, or that's why they have an upgraded PC, for example. That's all they play is Call of Duty. That's all they care about. They live, breathe, eat, sleep Call of Duty 24/7. Those people it will not affect because they will make adjustments so they can continue playing the game that they love, and I understand that. But for the rest of us who do enjoy hopping into their solid multiplayer from time to time, this is total bullshit. Once something gets removed from my internal hard drive and placed into an external one or deleted entirely, I am not likely to go back to it again, at least not anytime soon. This point is even more valid with next generation of consoles either fully demanding or highly suggesting that new games be played from the internal SSD. What I mean by that is that Most of these SSDs, to give you like the better load times, for example, require that it be on the SSD and not on an external drive, which means you constantly have to move things back and forth. On PlayStation, for example, I've heard, I haven't hooked up my external drives to my PS5 yet, but I've heard that moving things back and forth, like there's problems with like updates and things like that. I haven't personally done them, so I don't know that from experience. That's just what I'm hearing so far. There's issues with moving things around on external hard drives on a PS5. Additionally, I should not have to invest in an external drive. External drive should be an optional thing for crazy people like me who have multiple hard drives because they want to keep everything installed, but not for most people. Customers of these games should not have to purchase external hard drives just to play a few other games. What if you live in an area where there are data caps? So you know we're going to go to the route of deleting games now, right? And you have not invested into a hard drive. Now we're going to delete the game. And you live in an area where there's data caps. That's not something that's feasible. Those people are going to have to get external hard drives. And that's putting more of a financial burden on them when they already invested in the system and they already invested into your game and your game's ecosystem. What if they live in an area that has very low or slow internet speeds? What if their speeds are 5 megabits per second, or 10, or 15, or 20? Because even 20 is crazy slow at this point. It's 2021. What are those people supposed to do? Fortunately for me, I live in a place where I'm getting, 200 megabit download speeds, which even that is, that's not even that fast compared to certain areas around the country. What if you have slow internet speeds where you live? How are you supposed to re-download these games on 5 or 10 megabits per second? Even if you have 20, that's crazy. In the year 2021, 20 megabit download speeds is insanely slow. So let me give you my personal opinion, and this is just an opinion. There are no facts to point this out. It's just an opinion I have about the cynicism within, let's say, certain companies in the video game industry. Let's just say that. They don't care about this specifically because the more hard drive space that they take up, the more that your mind share is invested into their ecosystem. If you have less games on your hard drive, you have less choice to play. Yes, you can go delete and download and move other things, but they know that that is a burden to you, that is more difficult and it takes more of your time, which is also money to most people. Time is valuable. Are you going to spend the time to delete something, go download a different game, install the new game, and play the new game? Or are you just going to click that button that says, play now, on Call of Duty, on Destiny, on Avengers? No, I'm just kidding. Nobody's playing Avengers. That's my point, guys. These companies have no true financial investment to give a shit about you having to buy an external hard drive, or your data caps, or your slow internet speed. You have to make them care about those things, and the only way to do it is financially. I'm not talking about the developers. They're probably doing the best they can. But at a publisher level, they need to step in and do something. They need to figure out a way to get these file sizes smaller. And at the very least, the platform holders, which have the most control, i.e. PlayStation, Xbox, etc., they need to go back to restricting these companies to having reasonable file sizes. Reasonable. 250 gigabytes is not reasonable. It's not. Not when they give you a 500 gigabyte hard drive. Or for the PS5's example, an 825 gigabyte hard drive. And some of that's going to be set aside for like updates and stuff for the actual system software. It's not reasonable. So you can disagree with everything that I've said here. You can, watch the video and, call me whatever you want. But at the end of the day, it's truly not reasonable. And I think you'll understand that. And I hope that you do. Because that was the point of this whole video, is that they need to figure out the problem. The burden should not be on us, the players, the people paying money. The burden is on them to fix the problem. Whether it be Microsoft, PlayStation, whether it be Activision or Bungie or whoever. To be fair, Bungie has recently reduced theirs, but they also took away some of their games, so it's like, I don't know. But the burden should be on them, not on us, is my point. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Please follow us at Nerdthusiast. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You can follow my personal account at FromNJ2CA over on Twitter. Please support us on Patreon. That's the best thing you guys can do for us. The money goes right back into the company. It helps all of our channels grow. All of our shows grow, rather. We're all on one channel. I hope you guys like this video. It's a little something different. So please let me know what you think in the comments below. I hope you guys have a great day. And hold those bastards accountable.